I've always been a huge Russell Westbrook fan. I really, really loved him in Oklahoma City, especially after KD left. It was incredible to watch him terrorize the league like he did in 2017. And I always thought he was a great player, and the last couple years have been really rough. As somebody who wants to see Russ succeed, watching him struggle as much as he has. But I'm not going to lie, I kind of was with the group at this point. I kind of thought it was over for Russ in terms of him being a legit important, valuable contributor to a winning basketball team. And he is proving all of us wrong this season. And yes, I think we can thank Nikola Jokic for a lot of that. I think Jokic has unlocked Russell Westbrook again. But you can't lie with you can't argue with the results. I mean, he's last 4 games, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 25 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, and 26 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. Saw a stat here somewhere. The Thunder are, where is it? It's right here. The Nuggets are 13-4 when Russ starts. He's averaging 15, 7, and 8 on 53% from the field as a starter this season. You just can't argue with the numbers. The Nuggets are succeeding, and Russell Westbrook is a big reason why, and watching him be unlocked again has been awesome. Now, unfortunately today, that came against my Mavs. In a big comeback win for the Nuggets, they were awesome in the second half, specifically in the fourth quarter. They were just dominant, 33-12. Fourth quarter, they dominated without Jokic in this game, which was pretty impressive. They were a plus 13 in non-Jokic minutes, which is rare at a minimum. But either way, really impressive win today for the Nuggets. Russ is 10 of 17, 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. Jokic is 19 points, 18 rebounds, 9 assists. Typical ridiculous Jokic stat line without quite as much scoring as per normal. But a game where, honestly, I mean, look, the Mavs didn't have Luka or Kyrie, but they were competitive. They were feisty. They played really, really well for 3 quarters, and the Nuggets just locked in and got the job done in the fourth quarter. And as a Mavs fan, it was disappointing because obviously I want the Mavs to win. But it was fun to see Russell Westbrook play as well as he did, and it's been fun to see his resurgence as a whole recently and his connection with Jokic. And it's a guy who was very much written off. And like Geno Smith said famously, they wrote me off, I ain't right back. And that is exactly what seems to have happened with Russell Westbrook's season so far this year, especially recently. That's been the most impressive thing is, I mean, for the month of January, he is averaging 17, 8, and 7 on 51 nearly percent from the field and 37% from 3. It may not be prime Russ, but he is playing amazing in the month of January. And in all honesty, he's played really, really well for most of the season since the very beginning of the year. Look, he was really bad first 7 or so games of the season. He was 27%, 25% first 4 games of the year. After that, his next couple games weren't good either, especially really going through about this Oklahoma City game. He was decent in this Toronto game, but Utah 2 for 11, Minnesota 1 for 8. Like the first 6 or so games of the season for Russ were a disaster. Since then, he's been pretty awesome. And the Nuggets have had a lot of success in large part because of Russ's ability to be a secondary playmaker, his willingness to play off the ball, cut off the ball, and all that type of stuff, and his ability to find Jokic as well. As solid of a player as Jamal Murray is, and he's a very solid player, he's never had the passing connection with Jokic that Russ has, I don't think. And look, the Murray-Jokic pick and roll has been one of the most dangerous plays in basketball now for several seasons, and it was the key play that won the Nuggets the championship a couple of years ago. But Russ's vision and his willingness to get the ball to Jokic in so many different opportunities has been huge for this team, and he has added another important element for a team that was absolutely in need of depth, especially guard depth this season. Losing Kentavious Caldwell-Pope without a real backup point guard on the roster besides Russ, they needed him to come in and play well because he was going to have a big role, whether or not he played well or not, in all honesty. And he's been huge and has given them really, I mean, when fully healthy, Aaron Gordon's missed a lot of games, but I feel like with Russ plus their starting lineup, they have 6 real starters on this team. Russ has been awesome. Peyton Watson's been solid. Julian Strawther's been good. Like, they are legitimately 8 deep. And even DeAndre Jordan. Look, DeAndre Jordan's old. He has his flaws, but he's had a decent year as a backup big. Definitely has given them some sort of answer as of late. And the Nuggets have been better without Jokic as of late as well, which has been interesting. Something that has not been true about this team in a very long time. And look, I'm not going to sit here and act like the Nuggets are the favorites or anything like that. But when you have the best offensive player in the world and probably the best overall player in the world in Nikola Jokic, still having an absolutely ungodly season, 31.5 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists, just absurd, leading the league in three-point percentage at over 47%, having one of the greatest offensive seasons, not just like recently, but ever. You can't talk enough about that. But the contributions they've gotten from some of the others have been huge. Jamal Murray is playing better, up to 19 points a game, 37% plus from three, which has been a good improvement recently. My MPJ's having maybe the best year of his career, shooting 41% from the three, 61% from 2-point range, 19 points a game in his own right, almost 7 rebounds a game as well. Christian Braun has taken a huge step forward this year. He's 38% from three, averaging almost 14 a game, super efficient as well from 2-point range. Look, that efficiency from 2-point range is in large part due to Jokic's ability as a passer and the gravity that he has on the court, as well as his playmaking and his unselfishness. Obviously, that helps with guys like MPJ, Christian Braun, Aaron Gordon, all being highly efficient. But Aaron Gordon, yes, he hasn't played as much this year. He's been awesome this season, 44% from three. And then obviously Russ, who's kind of the point of this video, has had such a resurgent season after those first 6 or so games of the year. I mean, you look at the player stats. Look, it's not unbelievable, but after those first 7 games of the season, Russ has been a 57% shooter from 2-point range and a 34% shooter on 3.4 attempts a game from three. It's not game breaking. It's not earth shattering, but it's so much better than the efficiency that we have come to know from Russ over the past couple of seasons, where he has just struggled in lower volume to be nearly as successful. I mean, last season, he's 27% from three. 2 seasons ago with the Lakers, he's 30% from three. For the entire season, he's 31, despite the fact he was better shooting the ball with the Clippers that year. Year before that, he's 30% from three. Year before that, he's 31. Year before that, he's 26. Year before that, he's 29. Year before that, he's 30. He hasn't been a high-level three-point shooter since his MVP season. I mean, it's been that long since Russ has shot the three ball well. This is as good as it's been for Russ in these past couple months, as he's pretty much shot the ball nearly his entire career. The dude is never going to be a super high-level three-point shooter, and that's okay, but the fact that the Nuggets have been able to get him to be a league average to slightly above average, even potentially overall efficiency player, as well as allowing him to have all the impact he can have as one of the best guard rebounders in the league, one of the most underrated defensive players I personally think in the league, an elite level playmaker, an unselfish playmaker, a confident player. Is he perfect? No. Is he still going to have moments where he turns the ball over too much and makes the wrong play or shoots a shot he probably shouldn't shoot? Absolutely. But the Nuggets have given him the freedom to play with confidence, and he's playing really, really well. This has been the best Russell Westbrook, despite only scoring 13 points a game for the season, that we have seen, I think, in several years, really probably since his time in Washington, despite the numbers themselves going down across the board this year. I feel like this is the best Russ has been in several years, and it's been really, really awesome to watch him succeed in a winning market again. He's in a situation where we're going to get to see him play meaningful basketball down the stretch again and hopefully continue to play well like he has this season. Jokic has been a huge part of it, absolutely, but Russ deserves a ton of credit for being willing to change his game, being willing to fit into that system, being unselfish, being a great teammate. Always has been a great guy. And it's awesome to see him succeed again, and I hope it continues. Look, it came against the expense of my Mavs today. And you know what? That's going to happen. But it's great to see him succeed. And the Nuggets have been succeeding for it as well. 3 in a row, 7 of the last 10. They're the 4 seed in the West. Playing it super solid. Only a game and a half back of the 3 seed. 2.5 games back of the 2 seed. A big win today against Dallas, who, yes, didn't have Luka and Kyrie, but that could be a battle for a 4 seed in the standings this year, especially if the Mavs can get fully healthy in the relatively near future. And getting that win can be very, very important for tiebreaker stuff. And so, you know what? Impressive win for the Nuggets, especially coming back from what was, I think, a 17-point deficit in the third quarter. Like, great resilience by them as a team, and another great performance by Russell Westbrook. So happy to see him succeeding. And I just thought it was worth making a video, in all honesty, talking about how great Russ has been as of late. Because look, he's been awesome, and I think he deserves a ton of credit. And the Nuggets deserve a ton of credit for finding a way to unlock him again as well. So with that being said, that's going to do it for the video. I hope you all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more NBA content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.